So as we move on, we're going to take a look at the use of the multi-grid tool in combination with a building structure. On the screen in front of you is a very simple building form that we have that's created via our Structure Designer macro, which forms part of the PowerPack for Advanced Steel. This will allow the users to create a multi-story or multi-tiered structure of various widths, heights, etc. and spans. So in this particular option here, we can see that we have a building definition with spacings between each bay, and obviously the portal frame spacings and widths, etc. However, it doesn't have a grid, but now we can introduce a grid structure within the model by activating our tool that we have here. So for example, if I come in and type a value within here, and we can see that the grid axes expand. I can change the number in here, and quite quickly you can see the grid formed in the bottom. Similarly, on the y-axis here, I can enter a value and a number of grids that are required on that as well. So quite quickly we have the basic form of the grid available at those levels with the spacings. We can obviously come in and influence the labeling of that if we so wish. We can check the axis spacings and they correspond to what we've set under the Structure Designer. Similarly, we could start to enable model views if we so wished for those extreme elements, or maybe at certain points within the model, and similarly turn on the cameras to enable the drawing creation for afterwards. We'll just do the same on these as well very quickly. And then obviously we can make an influence under here by creating the levels that are required. So again, we can put in the number of levels that are within the structure. The table's populated, and then we can change the various values that are required with each of these cells. And if you look on the left, you can see that the grid structure is changing vertically as I use the replication feature under the macro. And obviously once I put each one of these levels in, I can then come back and do the same thing with the model views here within the structure. So not only are we adding the grid structure at each level, each elevation, we're also helping to influence how the model can be turned into drawings, how it can be viewed as well using model views to help with the downstream detailing, turning on and off various elements of the model using the model views as they're created here with the cameras. These again can be accessed by the Project Explorer. Notice the labeling here, so if I activate that view there, I can see this one in here, and obviously if I want to see the rear side here, I can activate that. And similarly, maybe I want to see the other end of the building here, and then maybe I want to see a particular level within that building structure. So quite quickly I can isolate part of the structure that I wish to look at. This allows the user to work more efficiently within the model space when modeling with Advanced Steel. So using a combination of these two tools together with our own Structure Designer, detailers can create schematic models quite quickly and also section those up to allow them to see what's going on, maybe add a few sample connections if needed, and then also use those to help create the drawings by coming back in to the Advanced Steel properties of the model view, going under the camera, setting the particular camera type that they may have, entering something in here as a description, coming under the style, again accessing this and setting what they need to see as a typical view and the scale that they may wish to use. And obviously depending on which country version you're in of Advanced Steel, these parameters will be different within here, and also your drawing processes will vary as well.